Welcome back to our Venn diagram and welcome back to the recording project. This time around, we're going to do a bit of a 2-in-1 video because a lot has happened since the last time you saw me. We will be recording drums. Oh yes, we will be. This will be my third attempt at doing this video, and let me tell you why. At first, my intention was to record the drums in the same way and make the same kind of video as I've done so far, where we choose two methods and then we compare them and rate the results at the end. I ran into technical issues that I could just no longer work around. Despite my ability to force this Zoom R16 to work for me from my setup at home, as soon as I went mobile and I went out to a studio to record drums, things got pretty gnarly pretty quickly, despite all the checks in place. It's not like my setup is very complicated, so there's really not that much to check except for bits and pieces and software and minimal hardware. When I decided I would do this series, I knew that I would run into all kinds of issues along the way. This is the whole point, to document my mistakes, ghosts in the machine, victories, and lessons learned with a few short steps at a time. After miking everything up, and after running through my checks in the jam space, I discovered just at the 11th hour that the original Zoom driver worked in this particular situation. It was incredibly late at this point, so I thought it would be worth it to schedule another day, and I felt pretty happy that I discovered a workaround. Once back with the same setup, absolutely nothing worked anymore.
No! God, please, no! No!
I can no longer use what I have. It was time to make a decision. So I did a ton of research, and I ordered a new interface altogether. Setting up the Scarlett 18920 with my laptop and Cubase took me all of about 5 minutes, and I was testing my voice out immediately. Now we just need to see if it will travel nicely to the jam space. This is going to be a seemingly bigger challenge as there are multiple mics, a completely different room, and a whole new player. If you've seen any other videos on my channel, you've probably seen Andrew playing drums. He's going to help me out with this video. I'll be taking my laptop and my new interface with me to a completely different place that I have not really yet recorded in. A completely different room. We'll be doing drums. And once again, I will be comparing two methods of recording the drums. One will be more of a straight ahead method where I just mic everything up super nice. And then the second will be the old Glyn Johns method that seems to be so popular to talk about out there. I hope you like it. I'm excited. I want to get this done. Let's go. Some of you might think, why did you get an 18920? You're not going to need that many inputs. The thing is, I eventually plan on using it for all its inputs. So subscribe and follow me on this journey. This is just the beginning, and I plan on doing a lot more and sharing it with you guys. For drums, we're using a 5-piece Yamaha Oak Custom. Mics are a 6-piece Shure mic carry kit. I believe it's called Pro PGDMK Drum Mic Pack. For the first method, I put the mic kit to work and set them all up as they're meant to be. The snare, both toms, the kick, and then the 2 overhead mics. This was actually rather simple, and the craft here seems pretty logical. For the kick drum, Andrew requested that we try and get the miking closer to the beater. We're going to do his suggestion because there's really nothing to lose. And it's also extremely important to listen to the artists that you work with, especially experienced ones that are using the kit that they're familiar with and that they know. So I attempted here the Glyn Johns method, also known as the Recorder Man method. I looked Glyn John up, and it turns out he's a pretty big deal and rather inspiring. I love a professional that just is honest about the complexities of what they do.
Do you ever measure the distances of the microphones?
No, it's bullshit. It's too
Despite the measuring seemingly being I measured anyway. As some folks out there say, you need the mics to be equidistant from each other so there aren't phasing issues. For this method, I used the kick drum mic from the mic kit, one of the overhead mics from the mic kit, and then an Audio-Technica condenser mic. This setup was fast and not really hard work at all. This video has taken multiple turns and cost lots of time. I gotta say that once I had the interface plugged in and set up according to the Focusrite website, it was a whole different experience. It actually works. It actually works as intended. I'm officially gonna stop griping about the Zoom R16. It was good enough while it lasted. I'll keep it as I could possibly use it to extend my inputs, and it still works as a standalone recording device. Now let's get to the reaction of the difference between the two recording methods. You might want to stick around at this point to see who our stank face raider is for this video. I think you'll like it. Okay, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop it right there. There's definitely a difference in the sound between the two miking methods. Now, it's possible that maybe the levels I set somewhere, perhaps in the interface, perhaps in my DAW, caused this major difference, or is it that one method has less information to get through than the other? As in, the 3-mic method is less information than the full mic kit method. Something to ponder. Moving on. Stop. I gotta say, like, the 3-mic method is, it's like a lot clearer and more pleasing on my ears, just as raw audio. I haven't EQ'd these drums for either method at all, and I'm pleasantly surprised that the 3-mic method worked so well. It's not that the other method with the full mic kit isn't sounding good. It's just that, I don't know, there's not as much clarity. Maybe it has something to do with that Audio-Technica condenser mic, or perhaps, once again, maybe there is something that I set somewhere in the levels on my interface, or perhaps in the DAW, that made a difference. I mean, anybody's fingers can slip, and I'm also new at this, so wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by that 3-mic method. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on. You know, I'm going to stop it all together here. I think I've heard enough to have an opinion on this. All right, let's get to this rating of the two methods that we put together here for this video. So for the 3-mic method, I am going to give that a strong approval. I was so pleasantly surprised, as I've said just before, and that's just the raw audio. Like, come on. I did a pretty good job for my first time doing this. I must have done something right here. And the mic kit version is a fine version of recording drums for my very first shot. And I feel like I can probably massage it into sounding a way that I would like to hear. So, you know, it's a fine version, and I wouldn't not do that again. So, what did I learn this time around? Can I do it? Yes, I can. Of course I can. And so can you, honestly. Anybody can. Don't force it if it doesn't work. This is another thing I learned this time around. You can force old equipment to work for so long, and you can find your little tricks to do here and there, and I know that we've all got them. Everybody's turning it on and off again somewhere. Tell me about it in the comments. You know who you are. Let's not lose our minds over making something work that's not going to work, right? I mean, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? I will need to learn how to either pivot or solve my problem. I think this will foster a much healthier relationship with creativity as we move along in the recording project, like all together. And lastly, I'm going to say it out loud, workflow. I got to stop doing these little recording sessions and stacking things up like I'm in a video editor. I'm just going to do takes like everybody else, one after another. I found that my files got really, really messy, and I don't like that. And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. There's many more to come. These are the MVPs of this video. And that's just about it. Thank you very much. And goodbye.